Hello guys, welcome to an unboxing of Firework King's Devil's Barrage pack. I've searched high and low for an unboxing video online and there does not seem to be one for this set, so hopefully you'll find this video entertaining. This is a very large box and measures approximately 40 centimeters by 60 centimeters. As you can see, it contains 10 individual cakes. These are 1.4G fireworks and they're classed as category F2. As you can see, they have a very respectable net explosive content of 2,190 grams. I purchased this set locally for just over £65, making it exceptional value, and it will be hard to beat in terms of NEC count versus cost. So bear with me, we'll get the lid off and we'll take a look inside. So having got the lid off this box, you can see that the fireworks themselves are fairly substantial. We'll take a look at the fireworks in terms of net explosive content, and the firework with the lowest NEC is Satanic Laughter. So this is a 19 shot cake and the bore looks to be around 20 millimeters. The NEC on this is 149 grams and the effects read crackling with green strobe with red tail, red and green cocoa with red crackling. There's then white strobe with red tail and purple and green stars with red tail. There's another 19 shot cake here called Lucifers Revenge. Again, the bore's 20 millimeters. The NEC is exactly the same with 149 grams and the effects on this read red wave crackling, green wave white strobe and then purple star crackling. This has a nice crackling after effect and the golden crackles almost swim away like fish or fireflies. There's then two 20 shot cakes. There's Saturns Fury. Again, it has a 20mm bore. The NEC count is slightly higher at 157 grams. The effects on this read purple and green peony with red tail, green cocoa and white strobe with red tail, brocade crown with green tail and then red cocoa crackling with green tail. So that lasts around 30 seconds when fired, and as it reaches its conclusion it fires a pair of volleys in banks of 3. We then have the beast. Again, it's 20 millimeters. It has an NEC of 157 grams, so very much like Saturn's Fury. The effects on this read red cocoa white strobe with green tail, purple cocoa timed rain with green tail and then lemon green strobe with green tail. Finally, it has crackling with green tails. We then move on to a 24 shot cake called 666. The bore on this actually looks slightly smaller, so perhaps it's just 18 millimeters. The NEC count, however, is slightly higher at 188.4 grams. The effects on this are listed as red star with white strobe, then red tail. There's purple cocoa with crackling red tail, yellow star with green strobe red tail, and then white strobe with crackling red tail. We then move on to my favourite piece of the box with Devil's Tears. This is a 25 shot fanned cake. The NEC count on this is 209.3 grams. The effects read red comet with white strobe mine, green comet with white strobe mine, yellow comet with white strobe mine, purple comet with white strobe mine, and then red and green with blue crackling. It's a very nice piece. It fires in banks of 5 and therefore creates a nice wide spread. Each volley has a different coloured vivid comet tail with white strobe mine underneath, and that creates a spectacle both nearer the ground and high above. It lasts around 15 seconds when fired, and it would surely be a good seller if it was available individually. We then have two large 25 shot cakes, and both of these have a 20mm bore. So Devil's Blitz has a net explosive content of 196.5 grams. Its effects read red cocoa crackling with green tail, green cocoa crackling with green tail, and purple cocoa crackling with green tail. For its finale, this fires a row of 5 shots simultaneously and really fills the sky. We then have Dark Lord. Dark Lord has exactly the same net explosive content with 196.5 grams. The effects on this read red star with white strobe with red tail, green star with gold strobe with red tail, and then yellow star with green strobe red tail. We then move on to the two largest pieces in the box, and these make a significant jump up in terms of size. Next in terms of net explosive content is Hell's Bells. This has 50 shots, a 20mm bore, and believe it or not lasts 70 seconds. The net explosive content is 373 grams, and the effects read red star with white strobe with red tail, brocade crown with green tail, red strobe and white strobe with red tail, green strobe and gold strobe with green tail, and then chrysanthemum with blue tail. And then finally we move on to the finale piece out of this box. That's RIP. So not only does this have the highest net explosive content of 415 grams, but this also has a 25mm bore. The effects on this read red cocoa blue star with red tail, timed rain, blue star with silver fish, brocade crown red strobe with red tail, brocade crown white strobe with red tail, and then brocade crown crackling with red tail. So that is the second most impressive piece out of the box, my favourite being the fan. A lot of the smaller pieces have a lot of the similar repeating effects. However, RIP has very prominent blues. There's an extremely unique crackling comet sequence that is so rapid firing it gives the appearance of a single continuous stream of bright white colour. That tall column of light lasts just under 10 seconds whilst flying fish swim overhead. So bear with me, I'll rearrange these fireworks and I'll give you my final thoughts on this box. So in conclusion, this set does feel very well made and quite substantial. There are some very nice pieces amongst it, including the Devil's Tears fan and RIP. It's true that there is a lot of repetition amongst the smaller pieces, but what I'll personally do is fire those at the centre of two larger pieces which are fanned either side. For the price I paid, you certainly get a huge amount of explosive for your money, and these shouldn't look out of place when fired amongst larger pieces. It's similar in size to Prime's Full House. It has a slightly higher NEC count with 45 grams of extra powder. It has one extra firework, and the largest has more powder than that in Prime's box. That said, these are 1.4G, so the proof will be in the firing. Fired end to end, these last almost 6 minutes, and therefore this set really is a no-brainer when available for the price that I paid. Although I don't plan to fire these anytime soon, I will be sure to post a video up online once I have fired them, so be sure to subscribe. Like always, thank you for watching, and I'll post up another video soon.